This happened in late July of 1972. Mr. Harrison was holding some sort of a prayer meeting or something up at his house. Okay. He's not a preacher, but I guess they were meeting there. And coming down off Star Hill was this thing, kind of furry and big, tall, and I guess bad looking.
Louisiana, Missouri, they had a big thrill. A monster was roaming around on Star Hill. He scared a little bitty children right out of their skin. And he left those big old tracks wherever he'd been now. Let me tell you about Momo, the Missouri monster.
And he just kind of vaulted down off the hill, and they saw him, as did Mr. Harrison's children, some of them. Well, naturally, you're going to tell that you saw something like that. I mean, you'll see something like that every day. Well, by the time we got back up here from Valdosta, big tales had emerged that this thing, whatever it was overturning cars, with a single push, and eating dogs, stray dogs, and I mean it got bigger and bigger and bigger as it went.
My husband was on vacation, and he kept hearing rumors about something up on the hill behind our house, and we had a mother dog and two puppies, and they used to go up on the hill behind our house all the time. And that summer, when they came back down off of one of their trips up on the hill, one of the puppies was not there. And some children on the other side of the hill reported seeing this monster carrying a puppy. Anyway, the dogs would never go back up on the hill again.
Right, so what do you know about Momo, the Missouri Sasquatch?
Well, I've lived in Louisiana for over 40 years. The week that I was in Boy Scout Troop 156 here in Louisiana. When I came back home, there was all kinds of ruckus. Came home, looked at the paper and so forth, and all kinds of investigators and agents were in town. I lived over on the other side of the hill, the south side of it. Really didn't bother us, but it was some excitement for the town at the time.
People would come here maybe a couple, 3, 4 years later to look to see if they could find Momo. And we would have like a special time. I think it was around the time the original sighting, late July, early August, we would have Momo days. And all the, we had a lot more stores then, in operation. And they would put out their sale items out on the sidewalk. And the Dairy Queen would feature Momo burgers and Momo shakes. And even people would draw pictures of what they thought Momo looked like, like a big ape, only maybe a different kind of face or whatever.
So we are now at the top of Star Hill, the hill where Momo was spotted. This is the view. Momo could see the entire town and watch the busy bustling all day.
Yeah. That was a nice play.
This is a star on top of Star Hill.
We suspected some of our students, but we didn't know who, and we really didn't try to find out. But years later, it was dropped in our lap, the knowledge. It seemed some young men about your age were sitting somewhere up on Star Hill one day, and they were bored, and it was summertime, and we're a small town, and there's nothing to do. And one of them's mama had a old fur coat. Maybe it wasn't even real fur, you know, a faux fur or whatever. And
yes, it is still coming.
the rest is history. But where is why didn't Momo come back? Because that was a lot of fun. Well, you boys are old enough, and you probably have thought about things like that as a joke. With all the, well, shall I say, with all the publicity it got, they may have committed a type of felony. You know what I mean? Or they thought they might have. So that they got rid of the fur coat and all the to do, you know. Oh, they can see Momo. Those boys, listen, I'll tell you, they're grown men today. And I guarantee you, this will go with them to their grave. They were all bright young men. They weren't poor students. And they just and I would have never believed that it would have gotten that big. If they had come and told me they were going to do it, I would have probably said nobody will ever see you, because it vaulting down off Star Hill like they did in a brief moment. They were scared as the Harrisons when they got out there, because I don't think they ever intended for anybody to just look at them face to, you know, maybe not face to face, but close enough to get scared. And but what it did do, and I don't think that they did such a bad thing. I think it made us all kind of have a good time.
There's also a windshield here, which could have come off of Momo's car. Vehicular device.
There's some oil.
And here's the bottom remnants from what I believe to be a Buick Skylark from 1997.
Now, Matthew, is that what kind of are you saying that's a Momo muffler?
I believe that indeed is a Momo muffler.
I'm just saying that when you're in the woods and there's a Momo muffler, you get pretty tempted.
I'm getting blimey hard from that Momo muffler.